Buenos días, mi gente. Welcome to La Primera Vez. I'm your host, Christina Reed, and this is the digital talk show that gives you the chance to get to know your favorite Latinx celebrities and entertainers. And today we are joined by the wonderfully talented Yendry. We're so happy to have you here.
Hola, ¿cómo están? Gracias por tenerme.
We're so happy to have you here. If you don't know who Yendry is, I don't know what you're doing. You must be living under a rock, but you know, she's a powerhouse behind hits like Se Acabó, El Diablo, and Nena. And so we're so happy to have you here and to talk about your start, your music, and what's gotten you to this point here. We're gonna kick it off by talking about, you know, what do you remember most about growing up in the DR? And then what do you remember about growing up eventually in Italy? I'm biased, I'm from the DR as well. So to have you here is a true honor, a true honor.
Oh, where are you from?
Oh, I'm Dominican too.
Ah, okay.
Yep, Plátano power over here.
So yeah, I was about to say that my memories about growing up in Dominican Republic are very related to food. It's crazy because, you know, I stayed with my grandma and my 13 uncles and aunties and my cousins. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I know you're really Dominican, because I think I have maybe 27 like aunts and uncles.
Yeah. Somos como 43 primos, algo así.
No.
Y a veces nace uno nuevo, cuando nace uno nuevo, ¡ay! Nació uno nuevo.
Oh my God.
Sí, es como, mándame foto del bebé.
Por WhatsApp.
Por WhatsApp, claro. But yeah, my memories are food, honestly. Morir soñando, aguacate, como si lloviera aguacate, y el sancocho que hace mi abuela es increíble. Y también algo que me llevo conmigo es como el ruido de la calle, lo que pasa en la calle, porque sabes que cuando vives en República Dominicana siempre estás como fuera de la casa. Es como con los vecinos y hablando con todo el mundo, pues eso es algo que yo me llevo conmigo.
Entonces, ¿se puede encontrar plátano maduro y plátano en Italia también o no, para hacer patelón?
Bueno, se encuentra, pero sabes que hace como 7 años no se encontraba mucho. Tenía que ir específicamente donde un colmado que había de yo me acuerdo de un señor peruano, y él me vendía me vendía la lechosa buena, me vendía el mango bueno, pero ahora ya se encuentra todo. Es muy caro, pero se encuentra.
No, yo mudé de mi casa hace como 6 meses. Y no tengo sancocho acá porque no tengo mi mamá para hacerlo. No puedo encontrar ni un plátano acá, nada. And I'm in Manhattan y no lo puedo encontrar.
It's crazy. You gotta go to the Bronx. My dad lives in the Bronx. I'm
yep,
gonna tell him
to. That's what I have to do. Go right out to the Bronx, take the board. But no, I think that's so amazing that you bring up how food is like a constant, and like I think that's so beautiful. I'm curious to know though, you know, growing up in these two different worlds, what was it that inspired you to sort of discover this talent? How did you find out that you had this talent? And, you know, what helped you focus on your music?
I think I've always been singing. The fact is that at some point people tell you, oh, I like your voice. So growing in two different cultures, I think it has been great because I had the opportunity to listen to Latin music, but also to American pop from my father, and Italian and Napolitan music. So of course the influences are, you know, maximized. That's
so incredible. I did one school trip to Italy when I was like 16, and that trip changed my life. So just to hear you being able to draw upon both of those cultures is so amazing. Also to hear that people are moved by your voice. I'm one of those people moved by your voice. As a tone deaf person, I've never heard that. So when you hear something like that, that's how you know you have a gift, and we're so happy that you're sharing it with the world.
Thank you so much. Not easy though. It's not easy. It's a really personal thing. Like,
it can't be easy to put yourself out there and for the world to see and consume it, especially because you're talking about personal matters.
Yeah, and even in lyrics, I realized that before, for example, I was not writing about my experiences. I was writing in a more, general stories and other people's stories. And that's, I think when you make the step is when you start sharing your story so people can connect with you. And you sing it in a different way because it's your story and you lived it. So I think that's the key.
How much of your mom inspires your music?
She's always been the focus of my whole life because I'm really grateful for what she done. I think a lot of women have the same story, and what she done is like a big sacrifice. She left her whole world, her culture, family, friends, and she went to a different country just to give me the possibility to choose what I want to do in my life. So this is like a big thing for me, and I'm really grateful. She always raised me. She always taught me how to be free, and how to not take in consideration too much what people think about me, and just be comfortable with myself. And I think I'm really grateful for the way that she raised me. So yeah, she's an inspiring woman, and she's a ray of light. Ray of sun. She's amazing.
Bendiciones para mami, siempre.
Gracias.
Do you remember who your first musical inspirations were? Who influenced your style, or whose music you were like, wow, this is music right here?
So I think I got a crush on Whitney Houston when I was a kid, because my dad was listening to Whitney Houston a lot, and Bee Gees.
Wow.
The Bee Gees. And I remember, he had his vinyl and in the garage, and he was listening to that music while, fixing stuff. And I was with him, and I remember that just the sound of, oh, if it's your love, 'cause your love, and all these voices together in harmonies were like, wow. When I was a kid, it was new music to me. So he really introduced me to that kind of world, because my mom was listening to salsa, bachata, merengue, Oscar Sarante, Tu Príncipe otra vez, Monchi, Alexandra. Do you remember?
Of course.
Que tontos, que locos. It was like, and I remember when I was a kid, I didn't really get the music because it was too dramatic for me. I was like, hey, mom.
No, that's what's playing at my peluqueria every Sunday when I go in the morning. That's what's playing. I get there at 8 a.m. and that is playing, blasting out of the door. So I get it. So how much of those musical styles are like infused into your work?
I think I always try to keep rhythm. The rhythm, I always try to keep it, on the Latin side with percussions and salsa percussions as well. And I try to integrate the synthesizer and my European side as well. What I like from European music. And also my music is really melodic, and I think it comes from, of course, the salsa and the bachata, and also the Napolitan music as well. So it's like you have different elements, but they just come up natural in the studio.
I love that. You can hear it too. You can totally feel that melody. Just hearing how you talk about music too, it's like you have it down to a science. And I think that's really beautiful and like refreshing to hear. I feel like in the age of, people blowing up on TikTok, and obviously, no shade or anything like that, but I think people have a misconception that you can just drop a song and pop out and, be this mega star. But, just hearing you talk about your craft and the science behind it, really beautiful to hear. It shows that you're putting in the work, and it's also reflective in your work as well.
I think, people feel it, and I think I put it in my voice. So it's very natural for me to talk about that in this way,
Love it. So I want to talk about more of your music. I'm obsessed with Nena. because en casa me llaman Nena because my little sister could not say Christina growing up. So I was just Nena, and that's me now for the last 17 years. So I just wanted to hear about, your creative process with Nena. What was it like, writing those lyrics, what you wanted people to get out of it?
So Nena came out in a very natural way. I remember I had a conversation with mom before, and she's always been very open about what happened and about her story and about our trip, everything. So she told me that year that I was with my family in Dominican Republic and she was in Italy was the worst year of her life. And she told me the feelings that she had, like your kid is on the other side of the world and you hope they're taking care of them in the right way. And also you're losing some moments of their growth. So it's like, I remember the pain that she felt telling me the story and sharing the story with me. So I think in Nena, I really wanted to bring that feeling that a mom, that feeling of protection that a mom, has towards their kids when she can't really protect them physically, but she's doing a sacrifice. She's making a sacrifice for them, So it's like it's a blessing that a mother sends to a daughter that's really far from her. And I think people really got it. Like Nena received so much love, and I think that's a really common story as well. People are like, "Oh, the story is incredible." That's a really common story. There's a lot of people that have the same story, and that's why they connected with the song, with the track.
No, that's so true. I just hearing it like makes me want to tear up because it makes me want to hug my mom. I'm sure every Latina in the comments will resonate with their mom sacrificing and giving them so much and, wanting them to have a better life than they ever had. So I love that. Can you talk about the music video? I think the music video is so powerful. What was your thought process there?
I had the vision already because usually when I'm making music, I already have the whole vision of, I have the visuals in my mind, because I feel it, and it's not only something that I hear, but it's something that I imagine. I put myself in a world, and I really wanted to have a kid in the video and transmit that transport that you have for a kid. Like a young mom, young woman that's fighting for the kid. So that's it. And we did it in Miami because I remember that I was like, where should I shoot the video, And we were like, okay, let's go to La Pata, which is like a Dominican neighborhood in Miami.
Hey,
and we did it there. It was amazing.
I think what's so beautiful about your music videos is that they all have such bright colors to them, like super striking, like bright yellows and reds and browns. And I'm always so like, I feel like that's such another layer to it. It like has this like, obviously your music has the Latin flair, but then always the look of your videos have it too, which I think is just a nice little touch. So if that was your doing, please, like you did a good job, girl.
Thank you. I always try to keep them, as much natural and raw as I can for now, because I think that's how you really connect to a story. They really need to be about the story and not just visuals. But I also get that at some point, or some songs just don't require, a whole story. Some songs are a vibe, so it's very different. I'm sure I'm gonna have some videos that are gonna be more visuals and others that are gonna be like movies. I really love to tell stories, so let's see what comes.
No, let's see. I'm excited. That's probably why people were so drawn to your colors performance, because it was so like stripped down and just like you and a mic and just the vibe. It was.
Yeah, I wanted the focus to be, because I'm a big fan of Collabs, right, of the platform, and I discovered a lot of artists thanks to them. And I remember that when I had to go there, I thought, okay, outfit, you know. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to do colors, and I've always imagined myself in a white suit, and that's it, because the focus needs to be on the voice and on the music. So that's why I was like, and I was even like barefoot because I love being barefoot. I love singing barefoot. That's how I analyze, yeah, the sound. I'm barefoot all the time, like even in studio.
Me too, but I'm not that flexible. I can't reach my leg up.
I love that, you know.
We have to talk about because it is on its way here, and we want to know all about it, as much as you can tell us. But you know, your inspiration behind making it, what it was like filming the music video in Colombia. We want to hear about it all.
So I did this song. I made this song with Federico Windler, which is an amazing producer, and I wrote it with Vicente, which is a songwriter. And I remember that the song was really new. The whole vibe was really new to me because the sound is the sound that I want to have, the sound that I love. But at the same time, people is used to hear my voice in a very sweet way. And this song is more about empowerment, you know, it's more about the self-confidence that you have, but sometimes it's hard to, you know, get out. And also it's a little bit like the concept is a little bit about I can do it myself and I don't need to put my responsibilities on someone else because I got this. So we were in Colombia and I was like, you know, I remember Chris was like, this place is amazing. And I was blown away by Medellin and the vibe that place has is like the energy of the people, which is something that I think all Latin American has. And I wanted to shoot, and we shot the video there, and it was really cool. We worked with people from Medellin. The whole team was from Medellin, apart from Kiran, which is the videographer that helps me to put together all my videos. And yeah, and then we went to this Comuna 13. I heard about Comuna 13, which is a neighborhood, and I went there to visit. And I met Topo, which is an artist, and he told me, he's a sculptor, and he told me, oh, you know, I'm organizing workshops for the kids. And I was like, okay, I'm an artist, I want to do a workshop with them, so I'm coming next week. I think it didn't take me seriously, but the week after, on Wednesday at 4 p.m., I was there. I was like, yo.
Knocking on the door. Buenos días, estamos aquí.
Ya estamos aquí. And I brought my whole team, you know, so we went all together and we filmed the whole thing. And I was like, okay, you gave me so much love. This was an amazing experience. So I want to do something actually to give you back what I got from you. So I did this mini documentary. And even if I don't have a super big platform, you know, I thought that maybe more people could get in touch with what they're doing, because they're giving the kids the opportunity to have new experiences. So they take them to theater, to the cinema, and, you know, they're doing hip hop workshops. And some of the kids are super talented. They write songs, you know, and they're 7 years old and they write songs, and they just need to get confidence with the mic. So I love that, you know, they have someone actually supporting them and guiding them so they can spend more time doing something and less time just being on the street with other kids and just, you know, randomly. So I love the whole experience.
I love that. If you had to describe the overall message of you know, leaning into the themes of self-empowerment, what would that like overall message be for you that you want your fans to get out of when they listen to it?
It's like all of us are warriors, and all of us, we all have our own battles. And I think sometimes we don't put ourselves in, you know, all those people's point of view, and we judge very, very easily. And I think that all of us are struggling for something, you know, maybe in the family, in the job, or with ourselves, or with mental health. So it's like, I think it's a positive message. It's like, you can do this, you know.
I love that. It's like you can do this, and also like you being able to get what you need to get done. Sometimes it means like sticking up for yourself, you know, saying no to the people who are trying to drain you of your energy, especially
Exactly.
as women. We really bend and try to, you know, do favors for so many people and, you know, try to make everything happen because we always want to save the day, but sometimes we need to save our own days and be our own heroes. And yeah, is going to be our anthem for the summer. So I'm so excited.
Yes. Well, I hope people like it. It's a really dark vibe and really really like as I told you, warriors. You know, so it's like I hope people like it. I'm really attached to the song. So you know, they're all my babies. You know, it's like sharing it with and then you get used to them because you've been working on them for a long time, and sometimes I get used to my songs and I can't predict what's going to be the reaction, from the outside. So it's like, I'm always like,
right, you want to protect your babies. You don't want anybody talking bad about them. You don't want anybody hating them, but I don't see that happening because you are obviously so talented. And I will also protect your babies and defend you in the comments and make sure everybody knows. Que no empieza.
Thank you so much.
We're not messing around over here. But as we look ahead to your future projects, what do you see as like an ultimate goal or some of your goals that you want to hit, whether it be with your fans or with your music?
So I want to put together an album because I think that gives me more freedom to experiment and to actually think outside of the box with my music. And I hope to have concerts because I feel like I'm a new artist and people they didn't see me on stage and they didn't get the opportunity to connect with me physically, it's been super weird for me because you work a lot for this project and then you don't really get in touch with people. You don't see them physically in person. It happened to me though here in Mexico. It happened in New York, in Dominican Republic, that people recognized me and I was like, hey Yendry, and I'm like, hey, do we know each other? I don't remember. And it's like, no, I listen to your music. I'm like, whoa.
Wow.
Because being in a pandemic, you're always inside, so you don't really touch the result of your work. And yeah, I think being on a stage is my dream, and I want to be able to play at big stages and big festivals like Coachella, like Sonar, like Primavera Sound, Lollapalooza, and bring my culture and bring Dominican culture out of it and give people a different perspective of my two cultures. So
I love that. When you are headlining at Coachella in a few years, I'll be front row, gozando, hangueando.
Listen, that would be a dream. That would be a dream. And I think, what I told Chris, my manager, I was like, if something happened to you, if someday I would have the possibility like to play at Coachella, not even headlining, I would cry the whole time. This is a big problem because I have to sing and I would cry.
That's me. I'm the biggest crybaby over anything. I'm like, oh, I'm so filled with emotions. I'm so happy. I could cry. Like, I understand. We're working on it, but it's because we care.
Yeah, so, does it happen to you that sometimes you watch the sky and you're like, wow, this place is amazing, and you start crying?
My Instagram is like cute picture of me and my friends, the sky, and I'm like, gracias a Dios por tenerme acá.
Ay, gracias. Ay, estoy agradecida. Wow, I love it.
No, but please, when you're at Coachella, I'll be crying too, but I'll be like, hey, I knew her. But then also crying at the same time because I'll be so proud of you.
Wow.
Who would your dream collab be?
I would love to collaborate with Frank Ocean because I feel like I really connected, with his music long time ago when he still didn't release Channel Orange. He still was like, he had songs on YouTube, there's still songs
Yes.
that some people don't know, and I'm like Sucker for Love, and There Will Be Tears, and all those kind of music. So I would love to work with him. And Kendrick Lamar is another artist that I really appreciate a lot. I love the way he sings, and the fact that he's real. That's it, he's authentic. Sometimes he sings and it sounds like he's crying, and I love this about his tracks. So I have a lot of.
I mean, those two would be so fire. So I'm on that train for sure. So we have just about time for our last question. And it's my last question that I like to ask all of my guests, because it's so great to find out about you guys in this way. But you're working with incredible people in the music industry. You're doing collabs. You're putting out this beautiful music. But can you tell us about any moments that have made this feel super full circle, where it's definitely made you feel like, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I was meant to be doing.
I think it's when you're in the studio and you create something and you got goosebumps. That's when you realize, okay, I'm doing something that's good for me, for myself. Because as an artist, sometimes you really have to like what you do, because otherwise, how would you just be on stage and sing it in front of millions of people? And that's one thing. And the other one is like, when your team really supports you and you get something amazing, like for example Colors, or you receive love. When I get some messages from people that is like, hey, listen, it's not only wow, that's a nice song, it's about, I really love your music and I really connect with what you're doing and you made me cry. And I was like, wow, this means I'm bringing something good to this world, and this is what I want to do, honestly, because
I love that so much. That is so beautiful, and it's a beautiful way to put your music out there. We're all inspired by you. We're such big fans of you over here at Latina, so thank you so much for being a part of La Primera Vez. We're so happy to have you. We can't wait to listen to Ya, and we can't wait to promote it and just be your biggest cheerleader. So thank you so much for dropping all these gems with us.
Don't make me cry, Christina, okay? I don't want to cry.
Where can people find you? Show us your socials. Let us know where they can go find you. And yeah.
So on the 28th, Yeah is going to be out. You can find it everywhere. These are YouTube Music, Spotify, everywhere, all the platforms, and Apple. And also, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I'm everywhere, guys. I'm gonna be your nightmare. I'm joking, but I'm everywhere, honestly. I try to be accessible,
Love it. Bueno, la Mazatana, Yendry, gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Te
Gracias por tenerme.
De lado y buena suerte. Te queremos mucho.